If you could smell what I smell right now, Mr. Brian Johnson is wearing a handsome cologne today, friends. So my lucky nose gets to enjoy the next few minutes with Brian Johnson, Valley Mortgage. So good morning, BJ.
Hey, good morning, Eric. Thanks for having me. It's always a great welcome that you give me.
I try to make it more awkward and uncomfortable every time.
You succeed, I think, every week.
I'm doing it. This feels great. Brian Johnson, tell the world out here who you are, what you do. Give us the dirty insight.
Sure. I'm Brian Johnson with Valley Mortgage. We're the largest independent mortgage banker in the Valley. We've been around since 1983. All we do is home loans only. So we serve all of Minnesota and North Dakota, specialize in first-time homebuyer programs, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA financing.
So it makes sense if we're a real estate radio show that we talk to the mortgage guy, right? And the show's sponsored today as well. So thanks very much for that, Brian Johnson. I got to tell you, folks, my wife and I did a remodel on our house over the last year, and we lived in our project. And so that's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into right now because I'm going to have like these flashbacks of terror and chaos. And when it came time to wrap everything up, we needed a refinance. And where we chose to go to refinance was with Brian. I got to tell you, I didn't even realize you were there. Like you were like the guy hiding behind the curtains. I didn't even know that you were there because you were quiet. You didn't disturb anything. And all of a sudden we had a new refinance loan. How do you make it look so easy, BJ?
You know, buying, refinancing, when you're getting a mortgage, there's a lot involved. There's a lot that happens in the background. And we try to make it as easy as possible for customers. So we do as much work as we can on the front end, get as much information as we can, try to find out any hurdles that we might run into, take care of that on the front end so that the process goes as smooth as possible. And I think that's how we do it. There's a lot involved when you're getting a mortgage. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things that people dive into. So we try to make it as streamlined as possible. And not every lending institution does that.
I can tell you this is I've obviously purchased some homes previously, and there has been that chaos time. What happens is when you find the house that you want and you make your offer, usually there's between 30 and 60 days. That's the pended period, right, Brian?
Right. Yep.
And in that pended period, that's when, as a consumer, as a buyer, you're fearful that everything's going to go wrong. Your stress is heightened. You're packing all the stuff up from your house. You're nervous. You're driving past your new house every day just to see what are they doing in there, right?
You've already moved in mentally, that's for sure.
You really have.
Yeah,
and so your mind is there. And the chaos that can happen is if I'm getting a call from my mortgage lender every day being like, by the way, you need to do these 7 other things. And that didn't happen when I purchased a house with you, and that didn't happen when I refinanced. What is it that people need to do before they get serious about buying a house so that that pended period isn't so chaotic?
Sure. Great question. Start the process early. I always urge people to start 6 months to a year before they're even starting to look.
Well, but if I come to you right now, but I'm not buying until summer, won't my pre-approval expire?
Pre-approvals are good for 4 months. However, it's really easy to update them.
Okay.
But a lot of times we can take a look at everyone's individual situation and make a plan, maybe be able to get them a better loan if we restructure something, help them pay off some collections to get a higher higher credit score and a lower interest rate.
A higher interest rate.
Yeah.
That's a great plan.
So it's good to plan ahead just so you can understand how much you need for down payment, what you need to do for credit. Maybe you need to pay off some debt. Maybe you're going to get another job. That happens quite often. People will call me in the middle of looking for a home and they've got new opportunities. So it's good to have that discussion. It's not always the end of the world if you're going to switch jobs, but make sure you
should probably talk to
the
before
lender
that.
first.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting. One of your partners, Andrea, who we've had on the show, I even saw on her email signature the other day, it said, please don't buy anything without talking to me.
Yep. Don't have your credit pulled. Don't open any new accounts. So It's holiday season now. Everybody's shopping and stores are giving away discounts on things. So make sure you call your lender if you're looking for a home before you open any new credit cards or buy a new car or finance anything. So make sure it doesn't affect your pre-approval if you're pre-approved.
I'm gonna test your knowledge here, Brian. I'm gonna see what you know because you brought up that it's holiday season and that spending happens with robust energy, right? How much do you think the average American spends on holiday shopping?
I couldn't even guess. I would say $2,000, let's say.
Okay. Well, now you make my number look meek because it's just over $1,000.
Yeah, okay.
And I heard $1,070 per person.
Wow.
But that's, as a household, if you're a married couple, that's $2,000 that you're spending on Christmas.
That's astounding.
And that can drastically affect a lot of things if you're teetering and on the cusp. We have some clients right now, Brian, who are trying to buy a house, and they're doing it with like 5% down, which is a normal amount. But if they don't sell their house for the price that they need to, all of a sudden they can't buy because it's that close.
Right.
Folks, if you're listening right now and if you're thinking about buying in the next year, if 2018 is your year to buy a house, now's the time, I think, to talk to Brian and to figure out what your numbers are so you can operate on a budget, so you can plan accordingly and you can set yourself up for success. So before people call you, Brian, what should they know that they have to do once they get rolling with the process? Because it doesn't cost them money. It's just going to take a little bit of organizing, right?
Right. Yep. We offer free pre-approvals. We'll review credit, make sure there's no mistakes on there. The biggest misconception
By the way,
I hear.
25% of people have mistakes on their credit score.
Yep.
I just heard that.
Yep. It's amazing. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
I have one lady here a few years ago. She had 38 accounts on her credit report that were somebody else's because they had a similar name.
Oh my gosh.
So it's interesting. But one common misconception is people think they need to have a large down payment, 20% or more. And that's not the case. So there's tons of programs out there where you can get in for as little as 3% down on certain programs. There's down payment assistance programs available. If you're looking to buy outside of the Fargo-Moorhead, West Fargo, Dilworth area, there's zero down programs. So
yeah, that's a USDA loan, right?
Right. Yep.
If you're a veteran, $0 down.
Veterans is a great loan. VA offers no down payment, so it's a really good program. So I would say, get in. Let's have a conversation, talk over your credit and income, and kind of make a plan and see where your budget lies. It's amazing how affordable housing is compared to rent these days.
Oh my gosh. It's why I buy rental units. Mr. Brian Johnson with Valley Mortgage, always great to have you on the show. Where can people go to contact you?
Sure. Visit us online at valleymortgageinc.com or stop by our office, 3315 45th Street South, or give us a call at 701-461-8450.
Stop in and see him. Realize how good he smells. It's a wonderful day. Folks, we're going to go to break. In the meantime, go to livefargomoorhead.com. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.